He's real.
Hey, this is Apple Cheats, first ever in-person episode, and we are recording in a very secret and special place. We will never tell you where it's happened, where does that happen, but it's nice, right? So it's the season 5, episode 3.
Or first.
No, it's episode 3.
Third?
Yeah,
I missed two.
Yeah, you missed a little bit. Yeah, it's first one for Vladimir. What we will be talking about is actually two things, and the first one is WWDC. So we wanted to do the episode on that, but we never did. But before that, we will need to talk about something happened yesterday, or if you are watching this posted, it's probably day after the yesterday. So it's like it was a couple of days before that.
Yesterday for us.
Yesterday for us, for now. And that is Apple special event where they announced new iPhones, they announced a couple of other things, and we will talk about those. And those things actually were pretty minor, those announces, at least from my perspective. What do you think?
Shall we start with my favorite question? What things you have already pre-ordered?
Actually, none, but I will. I mean, let's start with the announcement. Then we will talk about the things I will probably buy this year, or at least hope to buy this year. So my perspective on this event was that they wanted to make it smaller than it actually was, to be honest. So there were no new Apple TVs, there were no new AirTags, there were no new HomePods. So all of those rumors, like they are...
Maybe we will see this, but later.
Yeah, maybe in October, but not in September. So what did they announce? AirPods 3, AirPods Pro 3. Better sound quality, better noise cancellation, same price.
Smaller case.
I think case was the same, no?
No?
No, maybe. But
something is smaller.
The battery in the case, yeah. So, but they also showcased the live translation feature, which was, I mean, nice. I think.
But expected, being honest. So.
And moreover, it will work with the AirPods Pro 2, and it will work with AirPods 4 with active noise cancellation. So that's an important feature there.
Yeah. Finally, I get something useful, not buying something very, very new. So.
But this list of supported languages is kind of small. I mean,
it's a California-based list of languages. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's like
English, Spanish.
I think French and something else. Yeah.
It's for tourists from Canada.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean the update is nice, and those who do not use AirPods Pro or they have like all the first generation model, I mean it's a nice thing, and I'm using Pro for like commute, and if you use some.
We just have to say you use Pro 2,
Pro
1,
yes.
Because I believe everyone who I know, their Pro 1 is dead already.
Yeah, absolutely, and. Pro 2 is nice, especially in like when you take train or something, or even in airplane. So that those headphones are nice, and they promise that the noise cancellation will be even better than that. So, I mean, I've read a lot of posts right now of people saying that of all of the announcements, they will probably buy just the AirPods 3. So,
but being honest, the price is
price is the same.
It's the same, but it's still too big. Because, I bought these AirPods 4 with ANC for $150, and this is awesome. Paying $250 plus tax is too much for me because I bought my other pair of headphones, not from Apple, from other company, which we don't want to mention in this podcast. It cost me 60 euros. And I use them a lot.
Okay.
And they're still working. So 60, 150, 250.
I agree.
Too much.
I agree. And like one more thing. So not everybody like this form factor. So some people prefer AirPods 4 because they are nice, and they also have noise cancellation. It's slightly less efficient, but still it
Still,
works.
it's very decent. So
Yeah.
I used like your BART here, and it was wonderful. And this adaptive noise cancellation, when you start speaking or someone is speaking to you, it works there. So for me, like after transitioning from AirPods Pro 1, this is a huge leap forward.
I agree. So enough of that. And oh yeah, one more thing. So AirPods 3 will have a heartbeat sensor, so you will be able to do some workouts without Apple Watch and just with the AirPods Pro 3. It's the same as Powerbeats Pro 2, which were announced a couple of months ago.
Still without support of integration with Garmin.
Oh yeah, well, who cares about Garmin? Yeah. And a lot of people who do running, like we were talking recently with a couple of my runner friends, and they are all using Garmin, and I'm probably the only one who still uses Apple Watch.
The answer is very simple. So Garmin is a fitness watch with smartwatch features, and Apple Watch is a smartwatch with some small amount of fitness features. So
let's talk about Apple Watch for now. So
what a transition! Wow.
Yeah, I tried that. So the Apple Watch is it's interesting a bit this year. They did not change the chip, so the same as it was last year, S10, which is interesting. I mean,
I believe they did something similar in one of previous generations.
Yeah, so
S8 or something like that. Oh, it was 2 years in a row.
Yeah, but this is interesting because it has the same chip as the last year, but it has the same chip in 3 different models: in Series 11, in SE, and in Ultra 3. So we have now SE model with the latest chip on the market for Apple Watch, which is probably a great thing because now the Apple Watch SE looks as the very decent model. It has always-on display, it has a wrist temperature feature, and well, it still doesn't have gestures. Yeah, so this flicks and double tap, I think, and it only doesn't have the oxygen sensor. And by the way, the oxygen sensor in US is a tricky topic because now we do have workaround where it works, but you can only see the results of the measurement on the connected phone, which is okay. Yeah, the guys from Europe probably they don't care. Well, my watch is also like pre-lawsuit, so it also shows. But if I'm about to update the watch to the newest generation, then yeah. And so what they promised, more time on the single charge, especially like 24 hours for the Series 11. They also promised some huge amount of time for Ultra 3. Yeah, the like all the gestures and the better screen on all of the watches.
Slightly bigger, 1 millimeter more.
More like it has better protection from scratches and many other things. But they also announced that they will have hypertension detection feature, which works interestingly, again, like as a comparison with the last 30 days of data collection. So it detects the difference in the way how your like blood vessels respond to the heartbeat or something like that. So it's
I just do not remember. So did they mention AI when they described this feature, or just machine learning?
Yeah, let's talk about AI in a bit because it's an interesting.
It's a part of this. Yeah. So the idea is that this feature is why it works like in the past, because it needs to collect the data. It needs to like understand the pattern.
Yeah.
And then it will, but it works the same as with ECG. So it just say you have everything is okay,
Yeah.
And everything is bad. So, but like hypertension as a person with this, I understand this. By the way, it will not work for me.
Yeah,
as
because
it
you
will-
have Ultra One. Yeah.
No. It will not work
Yeah, and
reliably for people with hypertension. I already know this. Thank you. And
Yeah.
probably because I'm taking medicine for this. But yeah, so it would be nice to know this in advance. So like they just say it to you once. Yeah, you have it. That's it. Which and this is like a very popular, in a bad way, popular disease everywhere around the globe. So, and if this gonna help people,
Yeah, I agree. That's something.
this is why we need Apple Watch for all these small features, but still like.
And by the way, Apple usually like shows these features from time to time, right? Like they have all the ads and like saying like this is how Apple Watch saved my life in this situation and that situation. So
they spent 5 minutes on this presentation for this, and that was really cool. Like you see, I spent a huge amount of money on this device. It's sometimes not so nice, but it works. But when it saves your life, wow, this is impressive.
Yeah. And by the way, again, this feature will work on all S10 models, I think, except for the SE. But yeah, I need to double check that because they didn't mention that for the SE, but maybe it will still work. So Ultra 2, S10 will support this feature, Ultra 1 will not. And they also added the sleep score, but sleep score will work for many more Apple Watch generations, including Ultra 1 and I think S8 maybe, or S9, something like that. So I won't be
something that lives more than 12 hours.
Yeah. So the idea is that it will take a couple of metrics taken while you sleep and combine like the score of how well you rested, well, as if you don't know that by the morning.
And you have to believe.
Yeah.
If it shows everything okay, just
you should. Yeah. Well, I mean, by the way, the scale I don't know that, but it starts like the screen. I saw a couple of screenshots. It starts with okay. I think it's like good and then like excellent. So okay is
so American. So American.
Yeah. So you slept. That's okay. That's a good thing.
You are alive, which is good.
So again, looking into all of that, I need to answer your question in the beginning. I'll probably skip Ultra 3. I mean, I definitely like the idea of wrist flick or like double tap or any other gesture. Those are nice. And I also probably like the display which updates every second and it will show more things.
But this one also updates every second, no?
No. No, it won't show you seconds on the when it's in low power mode. So that's the problem. Again, nice, but I'll probably skip. I mean, I hope they will have more like the new design maybe for the Ultra 4 or something like that, or something more useful. So
I don't know, maybe smaller size would be okay for Ultra, But,
And by the way, these work and they still keep like pretty good battery life for me at least. I mean, so I'm maybe will switch, but I will probably wait if there will be some huge discounts or something like that. At least not now.
Costco.
Yeah, that's internal joke, but okay. Yeah, maybe. By the way, they also have something like that. They do not pay us for anything, unfortunately. Yeah. So let's talk about the main part of the event: iPhones.
3 main parts.
Yeah, 3. And so we all knew about all of the announcements, more or less, in one way or another. So they
met our expectations.
Yes. So they started with the iPhone 17, which is like essentially a base model. Like it's not a, how they would call that, affordable model like E, which is 16E right now. So it's a base model, so, iPhone 17. And they do not have a Plus model this year, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But pretty nice phone, 2 cameras, A19 chip, supports all these Apple Intelligence features, which Apple absolutely didn't cover on this event, like zero mentioning about.
Interesting. Why? What happened?
Yeah, but yeah. So let's move. Let's move on. So, nice phone, by the way. It's well.
Yeah. So if you wanted to buy an iPhone for your mom.
Yeah,
this is exactly, and it has again this is the phone that has interesting colors,
Yeah.
etc., etc.
Yeah, and like, by the way, both cameras now have 48 megapixels, and the central, like the front-facing camera, is called center stage. And like it's
So
migrated.
similar to iPad
Yeah,
and Mac.
and Mac and so on. So, and interestingly, they use a square sensor, meaning that if you take selfie, you can keep your phone vertical, and it will still keep your selfie horizontal if you want to. So that's a good thing. I mean, a lot of people take selfies. Like, let's admit that.
Me too.
Yeah, and 18 megapixel sensor with some computational stuff to make sure that it will be combined good. That's good.
So yeah, it sounds like a front-facing camera in my, not my iPhone, but this iPhone is much better than in my MacBook.
Yeah. The problem is like 18 megapixel sensor doesn't mean you will have 18 megapixel shots, because it will take part of that. But again,
even like a good quality 12 megapixels,
yeah,
is okay.
So again, I'm and by the way, those cameras will be on all of the iPhones. So all iPhones announced will have this camera, which is good. And by the way, the base iPhone will also have this camera control, which Apple told zero information this announce. And even when they show how people use this selfie camera, they show like people touching the screen rather than touching this camera control button. So
because it's not Pro.
Let's assume this camera control will probably go away soon, like as many other features. I mean, like, I also have a couple of problems with that, especially when it's like slides when you don't want to slide and so on. So it's like I'm trying to use that feature on my current device, but it's sometimes it does not what I want it to do. So we'll see. Again, pretty nice phone. It has a good battery life, and I think they said that they improved that on top of the previous. But they also said, by the way, that more countries will have only like eSIM only versions, and we will talk about eSIM when we will talk about the Pro, because it's an interesting thing which they did there. Apart from that, like, probably not much of the announcement except for N1 chip, which is Apple's Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Thread.
It's a C1.
No, that's a separate one.
Okay.
N1 is it's a Wi-Fi, and like all the non-cellular chip built in by Apple, and Apple like migrates from like other manufacturers more and more in their devices.
Goodbye, Qualcomm.
Yeah.
And Samsung.
Not yet, but yeah, quite. So I think this as for the wireless, it uses the Qualcomm, but let's probably switch to the next iPhone announced, because again, pretty nice iPhone. None of the features were like something new. It's just good update of the existing base phone, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
So now you want to talk about iPhone Razr?
Yeah. So we all knew that there will be iPhone Air, and by the way, it's not iPhone 17 Air. It's iPhone Air. So
it will be Air 1, Air 2.
It's let's just think what will Apple do next year, because it will be iPhone 18 and iPhone Air 2 and probably iPhone Fold 1.
It can be not air but fire, water, earth.
So new phone, really thin. I actually didn't even put like how thin it is. It's not the thinnest on the market. There were phones thinner than iPhone Air in the past. It has huge bump in the area in the camera. Plateau, yeah, that's. And interestingly, I think most of the electronics is there, because I think all of the other part of the iPhone Air is just a battery. And
screen and battery.
It uses titanium frame.
So they remember about my Bend-A-Gate.
Yeah. So this, like, and they promise that it won't bend. It will like be like powerful and so on. But what does it have? It has one camera, which is again superior camera and something like that. But just one. I mean, rear-facing camera. It has the same central stage camera on the front. It has Face ID. It doesn't have any like Touch ID, like, which is now I think promised for Fold, but that's just rumors. Let's keep it for the next year. And what else? It's bigger than the regular model in terms of the size, and it seems that it takes the Plus model niche in their lineup. Like there was a base iPhone, there is a Plus. Like now it's Air, thin and slightly bigger.
It's actually interesting because I thought that maybe iPhone Plus version was more for like elder people, just to make size of phone bigger, everything bigger there.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure they don't want to have Air, even
Yeah.
though it's like a thin, beautiful, but still they don't need these. Maybe they need other things, but it's just speculation. I really don't know what is the target audience for like previous Plus models.
I agree. I actually agree. But again, we'll see. They nixed mini model, they nixed Plus model. We'll see what they will do next.
Yeah, they're trying to invent something new,
Yeah.
but it's not so new. But
So
it's nice. I would really love to see it in real life. Maybe I should do this tomorrow morning.
yeah, the Air is a fancy one. Like it's the phone which like people should. Well, I mean, I think Apple tries to like differentiate people like pro models, like more of the people who want the most power, most like the best cameras and so on, and the Air for those who want to show that phone to everybody else. Well,
And maybe use it just as a phone without camera and all this stuff.
yeah. The battery is small, more or less, but the Apple still promised like good battery life, but they also presented the MagSafe battery. Yeah, and this battery will only work on those iPhone Air because of its size. Like it won't fit because of the camera cutouts and everything. And like with that battery, it will last 40 hours, and without, I think 20 something.
Apple Vision Pro vibes.
Yeah,
I feel.
Yeah, and I think like if you buy iPhone Air, you probably need to buy battery too. Like just like do
Just
that.
spare battery.
Yeah. Like,
Finally, we have replaceable batteries in phones again.
Well, yeah. But again, and yeah, by the way, all of the phones support MagSafe because there was a couple of rumors of like Apple dropping MagSafe after 16e was announced. No, all of the iPhones presented on this event were they do have MagSafe. Again, there are the iPhone Air will be the phone which is available only in eSIM only version. So there will be no SIM card slot on any market, I think, including China, which is like interesting like strategy because China usually wanted to have even like two SIM cards, like physical SIM cards. So
maybe they're gradually moving to
probably
eSIMs
like more
it's easier.
carriers
Okay,
updated.
we should not joke about this. It's easier just to use this. No control, nothing.
Yeah. Okay, so again, nice phone. Not much of the technology there, like which is separates it from all other phones. So yeah, nice camera. Also like 48 megapixel. The only camera on the phone. Also has a lot of computational photography. So again, if you buy that, you will still be able to take pretty good pictures, especially if you are like not looking for telephoto lens. Like,
by the way, I'm just thinking maybe they will be gradually dropping just a regular model, and because this is what happened with iPad. So we have Pro, we have Air, and we have something called iPad, which is something that no one really buys because of it's outdated, like the day it's out. So, and Air is really cool. If they do the same with the phone, why not? Maybe it will be fine.
I actually agree. They might have like the E model, Air, and Pro. So there will be something like very affordable because right now like the E and the like 16e and 17, they probably targeting the same niche. Like it's like more affordable version. Just the 16e is more affordable. Like,
so they finally just need to do an unbreakable version for kids, and this market will be closed fully because every kid wants an iPhone, but I really don't want to buy one for my kid.
Let's talk about the Pro.
Ah,
So Pro and Pro Max now have the same cameras. You don't need to pick based on the camera capabilities anymore. So
last year it was slight
Yeah.
difference in opticals.
yeah. It had the
Optical stabilization.
It had the telescopic lens, which provided the ability to do 5x zoom. So now it has 3 cameras, all of them 48 megapixels. So even the ultra wide and the telephoto, they all have the same megapixel count, and they now provide like huge range of the optical zoom. So you can take up to 8x optical zoom, which is pretty cool for a camera on the phone. And we will see how it will work like in the real world scenario, but it should be nice.
I just want Apple to like make a bold move and make something like Air and a touchable camera module, and that's it. With telescopic long,
then-
everything. So
Then- yeah, but then you will stop buying new phones.
maybe not. But
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there are a couple of interesting things in Pro version. So they use a vapor chamber to cool the chip there. They also use aluminum
Enclosure.
unibody enclosure, which is like you use that on Max. Now they use that on the phone, and again, it's aluminum again. Like they don't drop titanium for that because of the heat dissipation. So they needed that to make sure that they will be able to cool down that device.
which is okay, but being honest, I don't know who uses the full capability of their iPhones to make this chip so hot. But something new, gamers?
Yeah, but the gamers,
Mobile gamers.
Yeah, mobile gamers. Yeah, the gamers will hate us if we say like gamers use that. Yeah,
But yeah,
we'll see.
But yeah, it's interesting decision by this cooling model.
Or maybe they expect that all the Apple intelligence features will heat the chip up.
We hope so. We hope so.
We'll
They
see.
make something very cool for us.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, and yeah, the whole big battery. And one more thing about that, if you use eSIM only version, it has slightly bigger battery than this version with the SIM tray. And I think like on the Max or on the Pro Max model, it gives you 2 more hours of battery life, like that lack of the SIM tray.
Cool.
Yeah.
I still need a physical SIM.
Yeah, and by the way, US I think will be eSIM only, and
Similar as previous year.
yeah,
So
they already here. Yeah, so that's it for the hardware parts. September 15, all of the OSs will be released. So we are like soon to be updating to new stuff, and we will gradually start talking about that. So by the way, if you are doing your soft now, you can use Xcode 26 to release candidate to submit something to the App Store. So
it's time.
it is time, yeah. But let's just talk about the OS. So we need to now take a significant step back and talk about WWDC and all of the things which were announced to be present in those OSs. And let's start with the obvious thing, like all of them are now 26, which
year is now?
Yeah.
25th.
Yeah.
So they make this crazy move.
So
I understand it, but man, it's so
So
hard.
it's the same as all the car manufacturers. Like, yeah, you buy like 26 model year in 20.
The problem is that you never explain anyone which like model year you have. You just say, I have this car.
Yeah.
And everyone, oh, yeah.
Yeah, nobody cares typically. But here, like, you have WWDC 25, which announces OSs 26, which will be available still in 25, but probably
They might choose instead calling WWDC -1.
yeah, I think the thing is that they might be using that in order to, like, those OSs will mature only in 2026, right? Like, you install it now, but that's typically not the thing.
Around the third point release or something like this.
Yeah. So by that time, like, you will probably start actually using those OSs. So, I mean, yeah. But okay, so we have all of the OSs now 26. macOS is called Tahoe, which is Pretty nice name.
Yeah, you love this place, I know.
Yeah, I personally enjoy this place, and
I stopped thinking about macOS names. I don't know since cats. So
yeah,
I cannot remember.
yeah. I personally don't like the name Sequoia because it's like just
Is it
hard
the
to type.
latest one?
Yes,
Oh,
it's just like you need to properly type it. And I'm like pretty happy for autocorrect to fix my typical problems with that particular name. Again, nice place, just terrible name to type. What's new in those OSs?
so we are back into 2013 with full redesign of everything.
Yeah.
So, and now we have liquid glass, which is so controversial topic to everyone, everywhere. So I heard a lot from people who are not going to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful, nice. And all the developers just say, it's nightmare. You just cannot create a good design to like fully utilize this concept.
Yeah, and by the way, they also like they made it for macOS, iOS, watchOS in like
visionOS.
yeah, pretty much, and slightly for the visionOS and tvOS because like for the tvOS changes are like
We already had
yeah, it had
frosted
something
glass
like
there.
that. visionOS had more or less similar things, but again, they did updates here and there. My main thing, and again, like I was reading the same thing on the blogs. I think this design is not for this year's phones. Like there are a lot of rumors that that Apple wants to show like a slab of glass iPhone, like which is totally made of a single piece of glass, and liquid glass design will just match that perfectly.
I thought that instead of creating this vapor chamber, they should have a liquid there and make it glass.
Oh yeah. So you will see that.
Yeah, that would be nice. For now, I'm like, so being honest, I haven't installed it to my phone yet. I don't want to suffer. So
Yeah.
because I remember iOS 7
That's
suffering, that was very hard. But so maybe it will be okay.
So yeah, and I didn't install that on my personal devices as well. I was just trying to see on some of the like people installing and looking through the screenshots. And the idea is that first couple of betas were iterations on like looking for all of the edge cases. And by the recent betas, there are people still saying that it's bad, but from what I see, it's okay. I mean, it's a switch to a new design language, and it's, to be honest, not too big of a switch. I mean, when we had iOS 6 and iOS 7 and everything became flat and it had these blurred backgrounds, it was much more complicated. Yeah, it's more iterative. I mean, it's still there are still a lot of things which look different, but I mean, I don't feel it the way it was in iOS 7 time.
Yeah, it's less disruptive, but still,
Yeah.
it's a lot of changes, and like the whole design language changes here. So, and yeah, I'm pretty sure all the designers around the globe, they're happy. First of all, they have more job to do.
Yeah.
We also can be happy, but we are not, because we have more things to do. We will not lose our jobs.
Yeah.
So,
And by the way, yeah, all of the AI tools will not help you with that. I mean, we
they still
already
don't know about
yeah,
this.
we already saw that. It's just terrible. So that and my main concern here that now we will have two separate set of apps, like the apps which adopt this visual design, like liquid glass, and they will they will have these new tab bars, and they will be more or less okay with the system, and the apps which don't, and these apps will be like, I think that we will see them for a long time, especially apps like one popular electronic
network.
retailer or social network or whatever you like. Pick them, and they will never adopt that. Well, I mean, never is a strong word, but they will take time.
Not this decade, I
Yes.
believe. And yeah, the main problem is that, like, if we know, so currently everyone develops apps for two platforms. Okay.
Yeah.
every major company do this for two platforms because Android is big. You cannot ignore it. And the biggest problem is how to align design between two platforms. So to make it like a good citizen for the platform itself, but share the same design language between two platforms. And I understand why everyone wants to use Flutter React Native because it looks same. It just works there. So here you need to do something, and you, instead of implementing new features, I'm not talking about new features of the OS, but new features of your application, of your product, you spend time on trying to polish this stuff, and on iPhone it's very important. Yeah, I know a lot of people use different apps which are terrible and they still use it, but this is why we love iPhones and iOS at all, because it has wonderful user experience in most cases, not now, not in every Apple app even, but still, it's a very pleasant feeling. But and to do this, to achieve this, you now have to spend more time. And this is something that makes me sad.
Well, on the other hand, we will now see if those tools like Flutter will adopt that. And I think they won't. Those Cupertino widgets will probably still be like on the previous design language for a long time. But the thing is, in April 2026, you will have to use new SDK. You will have to use new Xcode and to submit your builds to the App Store, and therefore you will either have to use some kind of hacks to prevent using new UIs. I mean, if you build native apps, right? Or you will switch to Liquid Glass because you are using new SDK.
So we have 6.5 months to achieve this. It's a terrible thing.
That's an interesting.
Hopefully they do not put iOS apps into glass jail as they do on macOS, which gives us some time to achieve something.
So that's for you if you are developing in native apps. Like, beware. Apple already said that April 2026 is like that deadline. You need to target this gradual update to the new design. You can use Xcode 15 now.
If you're developing React Native SDK and Flutter SDK, also please be aware that you need to do something to support.
But let's talk about what else. I mean, like, this is the huge thing for the developers. But again, it's not and for the users. But it's not the only thing which was announced. So Apple announced their push into AI. Small, like tiny, I would say.
It's so let's not call it AI. It's about neural networks.
Generational neural networks. Let's put it that way.
So because we have neural engine, not AI engine in our chips. So, and this is like what I really love about Apple. They don't want to label everything with AI, even if it's AI means Apple Intelligence. It just like, they call it ML, neural network, which is it's not so beautiful, interesting for users, but still it's more it's more honest with developers because it's totally different things. And now so previously you could run different neural networks on iPhones. We had like Core ML, which is really core in this case, so it works fine, but sometimes it's just hard to develop something like prepare a model for this. So now instead they give us, taking a step back, I tried to run some of popular models like Qwen and others. I tried to run them on phone, converted to Core ML. It was hard because they live in this Python ecosystem, so not all operations are properly converted to Core ML, and Apple is not so proactive in improving their Core ML converter, which makes the process hard, not so suitable for me. So, and now they give us another opportunity. So we have models, we use them in our SDKs and our apps. You have access to them now. Use them.
Well, Yeah, this foundation models framework is actually cool, but the problem is it's limited to devices with support of Apple Intelligence, which like leaves a lot of devices out of support.
It's sad,
Yeah.
but still,
Yeah.
it's
But one thing I would like to mention again, that will definitely be changed next year. But now this framework gives you access only to the local models. You cannot have private cloud compute models in your app with this framework. I think I know why. I mean, like I can speculate, but like they have these data centers. However, I believe they are just small, and they don't want to blow them up if developers will just like start adopting those private cloud compute models in their apps and just overload the whole thing, because they don't charge you anything to use these models.
and like we have a lot of options how to use different models in the internet. Having something locally which is tailored for this specific hardware, it's much better. This is what we need now.
Yeah.
Because it like people discussed this, I don't know, 3 years ago when all like this LLM hype started. Oh, how you gonna put this 4 billion 4 billion parameters model into this? You don't have much memory here. Now it's like a probably distilled models. They are smaller. They are not so capable, but still something. You have something to run locally, and even here in San Francisco Bay Area, you don't have 100% cellular coverage, fast coverage.
Oh yeah.
It's still slow, and like in the apps that we develop, even for macOS, where you don't have like battery restrictions, whatever, we saw a huge difference between running something locally and making a request to any like a LLM, like external LLM, and which is wonderful because like it's instant feedback. And we showed the Apple Vision app on stage, and I even prepared a joke. So I asked something, like my LLM, and then we wait. I had to say please. So because it's so slow nowadays, and running something locally is like a wonderful thing. I believe, I hope that Apple will start working more closely with other companies on bringing their models into this format and allowing to use it, because this is not something like, it's not something that Apple can sell to us. Their models are less capable, so if they decide that they are ready to support other models, they do this in Xcode now.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's by the way, the framework itself, I mean the models, let's just put the models, the framework itself is kind of capable. It supports tool calling, which is essentially a way of like MCP in some way, and you can like write your code to provide some data to the model on the fly. It also supports like tailoring of the models. I mean, it's a more complicated thing. It's called adapters, so you can add some knowledge to the foundational model using that adapter. However, they also said like you will have to retrain and rebuild that adapter every time they change their model, and that could be like very often.
Okay, we have powerful Macs now. So
Yeah. So again, this is, but it's like you will have to do a lot of things. But again, this is it's a capable framework which just needs the models to support that. By the way, they provided the shortcut to run the private cloud compute models through the shortcuts, but you cannot do that through the app. Well, I mean, probably that will give developers more ideas on a way how this can work, like how capable are those models to compare with the local.
I don't know anything about this. We don't have Apple Intelligence in Europe, so.
Yeah, and by the way, one more thing: these models do not support creating anything. Like they provide a way to create structured data, like the generatable macro and so on, and that's also a huge thing. But they do not create any images. They do not create anything that. I mean, the image playground is a separate thing, but you cannot create any kind of other things with foundational models framework.
By the way, like thinking about this difference
Yeah.
between local and server-based LLMs, I think it's like purely my opinion. So this is why they don't want to release a new Siri, because implementing it on top of some existing LLM, like a server-side LLM, is too slow. Implementing it locally makes it less capable, and it's a trade-off where you cannot find like a best solution and even like a suitable solution.
So in regards to the Siri, we have a lot of rumors that the progress now is actually like noticeable. So like I've read a lot of posts of people saying that internal meetings show that the current version of Siri is actually something which they wanted to show like this year in the spring, but now it's actually doing that. So they probably will be able to deliver that promise by next spring. However, it's like a little bit too late, like, to be honest. And also, they said that they are working on this like world knowledge agent, which will provide the data to Siri. Which, again, if that's true, then they will be able to cut their reliance on ChatGPT in those queries.
So, like in general, I believe that Apple can do this okay-ish. So they know how to keep things private. They know how to build a good user experience. But the problem is that last, 5 years showed that Apple degrading in terms of developing software. Their hardware became so cool. And software is now degrading slightly a little bit because like remembering even new settings app on macOS. This was, so what I mean, so I hope in this part they will I'm ready to wait. I want to wait. So because current experience with even with the ChatGPT sometimes makes me cry. It's too slow. I don't want this experience.
I agree. I mean, Apple lost a lot of guys working on that, to be honest, to one social media company with huge bonuses and so on. But hopefully they still have people to work on this. And again, my perspective on this is that the world needs something made by Apple in this area, because that might not be perfect, but it might cover some things, and that again in turn might increase the competition. Because as of now, like we have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, we have Anthropic models, and we have a couple of like more niche things. Yes.
So and Apple devices are everywhere, and having AI embedded there would make it. And we still call it AI. It's not AI, but still
something.
Like making it available to people and injecting this into their lives. Yeah, something that I would like to see.
So we had a couple more things to discuss, but I think we will skip that because we are running out of time. I wanted to talk one more thing about the Xcode and ChatGPT. We actually had some experiments here at the company we work together in, and we tried Xcode with ChatGPT, we tried with Gemini, we tried with Claude. It works. I mean, in most cases, it will require you to do a lot of things with Postman, essentially rewriting the queries and like kicking something somewhere, but it works more or less. The problem is that probably won't work with every project you have. Like it still provides a lot of hallucinations. It provides some unwanted results, but it works. I mean, and I think the Xcode with this generation looks okay. It gives you the...
This is what we should have a year ago.
Yeah, it's a kind of a cursor like for Apple development. The problem is, by the way, Apple still did not release Swift Assist. And they probably will never do that, because, by the way, it supports local models too. Xcode. You can like teach it to work with local models, and you can have, I don't know, something like DeepSeek or something connected to your. By the way, here are the sounds of us in San Francisco. You will probably hear that. We will not be able to fix that in post.
At least we have only sound, not smell.
Yeah. So I hope Xcode will continue to improve in that sense. And like again, don't rely on that as a tool. Like again, there are a lot of things about vibe coding. It doesn't work that way. We still need a developer to use those tools. It's a tool. You can use it. It can help if you know what you're doing. So that's probably just my take on that.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very quick thing. So since last 2 years, I'm more into visionOS development. So they don't have any like breaking changes there. Nothing so cool and new. They're just gradually polishing their SDKs and trying to implement simpler components, things for common use cases, like a shared experience nearby, which I had to implement by myself, manipulatable objects.
Oh yeah, that's much simpler.
Yeah. So they're focusing more on this, and they make it's more into developer experience rather than user experience. But so I like this direction.
Shared experience nearby was something I asked engineers specifically. I went to the event in.
I remember I asked you to ask you.
I captured the guy. We talked a little bit. I suggested what should we use in that case, like nearby peer connectivity or like some. He said, yeah, probably that's the case, and we won't tell you about anything we work on. But they actually did that. So I was not the only one complaining Apple about lack of.
I believe
feature.
they just cannot believe that someone would buy two headsets and use them in the same room. So they cannot believe this.
That's actually the case in many enterprises. So
not only enterprises, like in our experience, like showing this on some exhibition.
You can have an exhibition with empty room, but you will have 5 people there, and they will see the same thing, and they can work together on that thing. That's the great thing.
Like the biggest problem that we saw, that when you put the helmet on person who never tried it previously, it's hard to explain how to use it, and it's hard. And sometimes you just want to put the helmet on them, calibrate it, make them look, and you do the things. And this was our use case. It worked. It worked with even some prime ministers, presidents. But so this is exactly how it should work, and I'm really happy that Apple did this embedded. Being honest, I need to try it and check how it works. But according to reports, it's fine. It's fine. So finally, Apple pays some attention to developers and their experience, which makes me happy.
So to sum things up, the event was pretty, not boring, but it was okay.
It was flat.
It was flat. Yeah, it was okay. Again, answering your question, I'll probably get that orange Pro Max. I really like the orange color, by the way. It looks nice.
We missed this. We
didn't follow. Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the main thing.
Finally, we have a Pro model with a bright color.
Yeah.
Not some. I'm so a businessman. I want to have boring phone. No, I finally have an option. It will be. It will disappear.
Pro Max will be sold on the pre-orders. I think within 5 to 10 minutes. I'm pretty much sure about that. I mean, maybe just 2 terabyte.
Make sure that you use your fast laptop, not the slow one.
Yeah. So that's what I will be getting. And as regards to the operating systems, we will have a lot of work to adapt this liquid glass design, and hopefully we will see more updates in terms of better Siri and better integration with this artificial intelligence assistants, and they will be more useful for us. That's I hope for. We'll see how it will actually go, and that's probably it for our first in-person episode. Hopefully we will have something like that sometime into the future. We'll never know.
It's not dependent on us. It depends on other people, but still, maybe we'll have it more.
Yeah, but if you're still watching, listening, again, I don't know, where is the button if you're watching us? Somewhere here, subscribe, look at somewhere in the screen. And if you're just listening to us and don't see what we're doing with our hands, just find some rating and post some comments on what do you like about the show.
Ask ChatGPT how to do this.
Or try asking Siri and then ask ChatGPT because you didn't have an answer. Okay, see you hopefully soon.
Yeah,
I mean,
we should get back to our normal.
yeah. Well, probably with a more regular setup of the podcast. Thanks everybody, and till